if I cut myself, I'll grab some leaves. If I don't have yarrow, I'll grab some leaves and I'll quickly chew it. If you're adverse to that, you've got to find some rocks to mash it up, and you put it on wherever you cut yourself, and you apply some pressure. There you see the green juice now, so that's from chomping it with my teeth. And you put some pressure on, and in no time at all, the bleeding will have stopped.
Ekasi, eats one, deeds one.
Yo, Deep South Connect, it's all about respect. We are back in Ocean View. We are at the OV Organics farm. And I'm here with someone who I met recently who has really inspired me as I've been going on my journey of reconnecting with the earth and trying to find alternative ways of doing things. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you, Luke.
So, Karen, you are a herbalist by qualification, by passion, by trade.
Correct. All of them.
By all of them. That's fantastic. Could you tell us a little bit about how you became a herbalist?
Okay. Back in the early 90s, last century, I developed a passion for growing my own food. I tasted organically grown food, and I realized that the things we were buying in the supermarket is not quite the same. And so I became a volunteer at the Komiki Environmental Awareness Group here on the Emma farm, not far away from here. And I became a volunteer and in a little model permaculture home garden at the center there. And so I started learning about growing food in a responsible way, all organically, using no artificial chemicals and fertilizers and industrial products. And with the growing of food came the growing of herbs. Food and herbs are very interconnected. Let food be your medicine and medicine your food. And we know herbs it's all about healing, and that's where we came to using it in our cooking. And so that's where my passion for the herbs started calling me. It became a calling. Okay, it became a calling. And so I developed this real passion and interest for learning more about herbs. At first, the common European, northern, western herbs, I'm talking about the continents, the information is easily available in books, and so I started looking for knowledge on our indigenous herbs. I was born here in South Africa, and so I belong here, and we have our own herbs here in South Africa. So that's where my interest developed, and so I left Kiag after some years of working there as a community worker, trainer, facilitator. So I left that and I went on a sabbatical, and I went and studied herbalism through School of Natural Health Sciences, who are affiliated to Trinity. I did an online course, and I hold a diploma in medicinal herbalism, and then once I got my diploma, I followed the calling. And I went and spent a period of 10 years learning from traditional healers in South Africa, all over the country. about our indigenous plants and their healing properties. Amongst the Sangomas, they would say, we can't teach you, your ancestors must teach you. This is where I start with growing food. This is, in my opinion, essential for organic gardening, because everything starts in your kitchen and with your organic waste. Okay, and what do you do with it? You don't throw it in the bin. You got to use your organic waste and recycle it, so it's all part of a closed system. You close all the loops. Okay, so my very first earthworm farm was just a pot, a big plant pot. That's how I started. And now I have this great 3-tier system. Okay, so what earthworms like is to live under the soil. We don't really see earthworms out in the sun, so they're very sensitive to the sun. So my earthworm farm is always in a nice shady, cool spot. Okay, well, let's have a look at them. Okay, I've just fed them now from produce from my kitchen, and you will see there's a lot of things that they can process. Egg boxes, cardboard. This is the carbon based organic matter waste from anybody's kitchen. As long as it's got no plastic on it, they're fine, they can eat it. Eggshells. They absolutely love banana. They love banana. And then any organic matter, even my hair that comes out. This is just plantain leaves that I didn't dry properly. You can these eco-friendly cups from my coffee visits at nice coffee shops. Tissue, what's this? Tissue. And then we'll see them now. They were all up here just now. Look here, eggshells, carrot peelings, potato peelings, and there. Now let's get to them. Look at that. Look at all of them. They love it. Now there's some things they do not like, and that's all the things you would use to discourage caterpillars from eating your plants and soft-bodied insects. You know, when your cabbages suddenly have lots of caterpillars on them, you usually make a spray, eco-friendly spray. You use things like chili, onion, garlic, tomato leaves. Those are things you don't put in your earthworm farm, because earthworms are soft-bodied insects or creatures. So that I would put in a compost heap. It's been amazing because this place is this magic. It just brings people together in this wonderful space, you know. There's so much clean air here, and a lot of the community come here to the space either for food. As you can see, the ladies, the cooperative, grow a lot of food, and part of it is about feeding the community through soup kitchens and so on. And so the site where the medicine, the food and medicine garden is it's one of the first things people see because of its location, and so it is now presents itself as an opportunity to connect with the locals. So I often have people from the Rasta camp. I have people from all over Ocean View, actually, and their visitors. And everybody who has an interest in the medicinal plants and in the indigenous plants, we connect and we share knowledge and we share seed and we share seedlings and cuttings, and it's an amazing tapestry being interweaved here. I bought these from a Rastafarian, Isaac, who lives up at the Rasta Cape. I like to support the locals a lot. And then he often comes and gets Artemisia afra, Wildeals, from me, because I've been propagating a lot of Wildeals, which is that plant over there. I'll point that out to you, Wildeals. Everybody is going wild about Wildeals. Everyone's going wild about wild wormwood because it's a great medicine for colds and flus and viruses. Gets rid of it quick. You can use it for any chest complaints, blocked sinuses, headaches, blocked noses. Traditionally, you would often see the local Khoi and San and Strandlippers, they all knew about this plant, and you'd see them make little nose plugs. They'd take leaves and they'd make obviously a bit more than that. My nose is small. And you'd see them plug their noses, and that would help to unblock the sinuses and the nasal passages.
So this morning I was telling one of my brothers, Easter Tong Clement, one of the best rappers ever in the Deep South, that we were going to be having this discussion with you today. And he actually said you've mentored him in many ways. And one of the things that really intrigued me, he was telling me how when there's an outbreak of something in the world, the earth provides plants or some form of healing in that epicenter of the outbreak. Can you speak a little bit into that and perhaps speak into how there are natural alternatives for almost every ailment that we can think of?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take, for example, plants. You go down and walk down on the beachfront, okay, and the winds and the tides are such that they're blue bottles washing up onto the shoreline, and you stand on a blue bottle and you sting yourself. Mother Nature's provided a solution. Sour fig, Carpobrotus species, all the Carpobrotus family genus. Sour fig, Suurvee. You break a leaf off, and the juice from that leaf you rub onto your blue bottle sting. There we go, there's your antidote. And so it is with Mother Nature and with us, because we're part of that Mother Nature. And the more we take care of our planet, the more the planet takes care of us. It's all about living in harmony. In harmony. And so when an epidemic or a challenge to our health is presented to us, it's an opportunity for us to reconnect and harmonize and rebalance. For me, balance is an old word. We now talk about harmony. Harmony, because balance is something there and there. Balance this and that. Harmony is like a seesaw. There's so many springbok, they're eating all the grasslands. Well, then lots of springboks, the predator population will increase, and they'll reduce the amount of springboks, and then the plants can grow again. So it's about harmony. And so it is with ourselves and our bodies and our health and our state of mind. mentally, emotionally. We learn to harmonize with the challenges that are presented. And I'll come and have a look at this. This is what they make. This is what they make. They turn all that waste from your kitchen that you don't put in your bin into this. This is what we call black gold. And so some of the earthworms are still left behind in here. If this was full and I hadn't stolen from then, they've been able to have gone up into there. So what I'll do when I harvest this is I'll try and get all the earthworms and put them in there. And we know they move away from the sun. They don't like the sun. So I would gather the earthworms and then they'll go to the center. Then I'll scratch off the surface and then you'll find that the earthworms all move into one space, into a little bundle.
You've got first-hand experience. You were telling me just a bit earlier you had a terrible motorbike accident about 2 years ago, and you managed to heal yourself by connecting with the earth and applying the knowledge you've learned. Can you speak into a little bit of that?
Okay, yes. It was about, maybe it's going on 3 years ago now.
Okay.
I had an accident. I was rushing about a bit too much on my motorcycle, and it was a rainy day, and there were lots of greasy intersections, and I fell. So I injured myself quite seriously, and being someone who wasn't on medical aid, relying on the government medical system, I found myself on crutches for over a year with a torn ligament in my knee, okay, and damaged cartilage. And then it turns out in the end that I damaged my vertebra and the cartilage in between the discs, in between my vertebrae, and they were fusing, and I was living on synthetic morphine to get by with the pain, and one leg was shorter than the other. And then all this craziness started about just over a year ago. It's actually going on a year and a half now. And then I realized, I started asking questions. I asked questions, what's going on? And when you ask questions, then suddenly, and you believe that the answers will come to you, you know? You've got to ask the questions. You've got to be open to receive answers. The answers started coming. And I woke up from my winter of consciousness. And I remembered that I'm a herbalist and that I'm a human, and humans we are incredible supernatural beings, okay? And the way we've been taught to believe is that we don't have power. We are controlled by our genes, and in fact we're actually being programmed. You know, the first 7-8 years of your life, you're actually in hypnosis mode. That's how we learn. Otherwise, you would have to relearn how to walk every day. Okay, so you download programs, how to learn, how to walk, how to eat, how to speak. Okay, and then after the first 7, 8 years, then we learn by repetition. How do you learn the ABC? A, B, C, A, B, C, D, D. Repeat, 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 okay? And so those are programs, okay? And we can unlearn those programs and slot in new programs. And I did. I learned that we control our beliefs, and through knowledge, I got my power back. My power back. I healed nerves. I healed cartilage. The one leg that was shorter than the other no longer is, and it's through no medical intervention. I did it through my perception of how supernatural we are as humans. We still learning about what we are actually capable of, and all this going on right now. Humans are being focused on little things. We're so weak. We need to rely on the medical system and this system and that system. No, it's an opportunity to wake up and ask questions. And knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and the more knowledge you have, the more it empowers you.
Ekasi.
I think this is the By Spinoza. You can see it's got little thorns. By meaning two, so it's tooth. Spinoza meaning thorns. Two thorns. By Spinoza. Okay, and they make an edible berry, which is, it's got a sweet, tartish sort of flavor. I don't have any berries on it yet, it's still young. However, very edible. I love it.